So, a bit earlier today, I'm just doom scrolling through YouTube Shorts, right? I have like every other social media app blocked or whatever, but I have YouTube still because I post on it every day and whatnot. And I'm just sitting here doom scrolling, doom scrolling, doom scrolling. I could have been like recorded this audio and then like had the video uploaded to be scheduled for the next day. But now I'm doing this whilst I'm sitting in the parking lot outside of my sister's job instead of me like actually doing what I should have been doing beforehand. And it's so weird because for however long I was just scrolling through my phone, the entire time I'm like, man, I should stop this. I should get up. Every time I look at the time, I'm like, man, it's like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. Oh, it's 5:45. Oh, it's 6:14. Like, and then I don't get up. It's crazy. Like, I literally, like, this is literally what happened, bro. Like, I literally, like, spazzed out and I just turned off my phone and like ran out of my room. Like I just ran out of my room and whatnot. And I don't know what it is that makes me kind of like lose those mental faculties to just sit there and be on my phone the entire time. Knowing that I'm not doing anything productive whatsoever. It's actually insane. It's like, and I don't have anybody else to blame but myself, right? I can say stuff like, oh, the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm preying on my dopamine and sensory receptors and blah, blah, blah. But it's like at the end of the day, like I'm the one holding the phone in my hand, bro. Like I'm the one who has control over what I do and what I do not do on my smart device. And it's just so crazy. It's like the contrast between me during Ramadan and me now, just only literally a couple days after Ramadan, it's like such a huge difference. When it comes to eating, I've been, of course, eating like throughout the day as the sun is up. And like, I've been eating like, it almost feels like I'm just eating whenever I kind of feel like it. I don't have any structured plan to when I was eating it. And during Ramadan, I had a structured plan. Eat, those 2 meals of the day at these specific times. And that's it. Don't drink any water throughout the day. You drink, during the night and during the morning, and that's it. That was the whole entire thing. But now it's like, since it's up to me, I'm just over here doing whatever I want. It's like so crazy, like how out of order I've become. And it hasn't been this bad before, before Ramadan. It's almost as if it's like I've like hit like this huge relapse, right? Like as if Ramadan was like me going through rehab and stuff like that, and then I broke the streak, and then now I'm like through this huge just relapse phase where I'm just like doing whatever and I'm having no control over me. And I just have to like wake up to those things, right? I've set like this whole schedule plan throughout each day, and how each of my days are gonna go on Google Calendar, and I have it notifying me. And I'm not sticking to those things, knowing that I full well have the capability to do those things. And I don't know, man, it's just so weird. It's like I said, like this relapse cycle that I'm going through after Ramadan. And it's like, I don't know why it's so hard to maintain it when I know all the benefits. Like I know what's good for me. I know what's going to do good for me. And for whatever reason, I'm just like lacking all of like the mental strength and discipline and other faculties to keep to these things for whatever reason. And one thing too I realized is like it's as if like fasting was like a superpower, bro. And when people say fasting brings you closer to God, I really do feel that. I really do believe that. I was even closer to my own like intellectual thoughts and everything. I was reading so much. I was researching a lot of things. I was reading about things. The time I would spend on my phone, most of that time would be trying to learn something. And that wouldn't be like that wouldn't be like, I'm going to go on my phone and I'm going to look up this up specifically. It would just kind of like, I would have a curiosity about things. And I would try and like just to learn more things, and then that would lead me to just in a rabbit hole of getting other things. You know what I learned today through scrolling on my phone though? Just scrolling on my phone, doing absolutely nothing. You know what I learned today? I learned that if two guns were to shoot at each other and the bullets were to be made of the same material, that when they collide together, there would be so much friction and heat that the bullets could merge together. Now, what effect does me knowing that information have on my daily life? Nothing. Zero. It holds zero value. And I learned that from a YouTube short. most of the stuff that I was learning during Ramadan, I was reading in articles, I was reading in no, I wouldn't say newspapers, digital like media, where like, you know, there would be articles and stuff like that where I would have to read and seek the information. I'd be reading in books, I'd be reading in textbooks, I'd be reading from research papers, stuff like that. And now it's like, now I don't know if it's something with the effect that food has on the body. Like maybe food makes you more inclined to just consume other media. It's like the media I was consuming during Ramadan, I was consuming it in a way that I felt like was satiating, right? Like how you might eat protein. Protein is more satiating than carbs. So when you get full, you tend to not have to eat as much later on. And that's kind of like how fast food is in a way. When you are, you know, eating crap food, a bunch of carbs, whatever the case may be. Sorry, not fast food. That's how information is, or just consuming digital media, right? So it's like, if you're consuming YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Instagram Reels, whatever the case may be, you're going to just look at more and more and more of that. But like when you're reading a good book, or you're reading some informational encyclopedia, or you're learning new words, you're not going to do that all day. You know, our brain has a capacity to how much we're going to try and learn and process. But what you can do all day is like sit on your ass and just like scroll through your phone like an idiot. And it's just so interesting. It's so interesting. And again, I don't know if it's like, you know, me not having a regulated eating schedule, at least coming right after Ramadan, it's kind of like messing with my brain, like as if, like I said, like eating is just going to make you want to consume a bunch of like nonsense information. And it was just so weird too. It's like there's this, I know like some people view him as a quack, right? As a sham, as a scam. But Dr. Sabi, right? He was like some guy that I was kind of looking into during Ramadan as well. I was like reading about stuff, watching stuff about him, whatever. And one of his patients, you could say, she was like this famous singer at the time. And she advised that she went on a 40-day fast, right? And she had addictions to him. She was like alcoholic. She was a drug addict. She smoked, things like that. And she went on like a 40-day fast. I'm assuming she maybe just drank water throughout that day, throughout those days. And she was practically nearly cured of all these things, of all these afflictions, at least specifically when it comes to addiction. And one thing too is I'm realizing that I'm kind of falling back as I'm transitioning from not fasting, you know, from fasting, you know, in Ramadan to not fasting anymore. I'm more able to be consumed by these addictive behaviors, such as scrolling on my phone, such as trying to always have something to listen to when I'm driving, such as being distracted by my phone from any little moment. Things like that. And again, it's just so interesting. It's so weird to me that like these things immediately kick in when I'm just, you know, going about how I was regularly, right? And maybe I am still in kind of like a transitional phase from trying to figure out how I'm gonna just incorporate fasting like in my life, in my regular day-to-day life, and like that's why I'm not being consistent with it. That, or I just like, you know, I don't have enough self-discipline to stick to these parameters that I wanted to set for myself when it comes to like just fasting through my daily life. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe fasting does help you beat addiction, because many things, even pornography, masturbation, those things were very limited during Ramadan. And it's like I didn't feel a need to do them because I wanted to focus on so many things. I wanted to focus on just things that were so like way better than like just looking at YouTube shorts. And one thing too, I would catch myself, right? I would be looking at YouTube shorts during Ramadan. I would catch myself very early on. Not that much time would pass. But now it's like, or at least today, it was crazy. I was just sitting there. Like, I was taking a poop on the toilet. And I was sitting there. And I'm like, man, I've been sitting here for a while. I should get up. My legs were falling asleep, bro. My legs were falling asleep. I was sitting on the toilet. in my own home. In my own home. In my own home. Just scrolling through YouTube Shorts. And before this, I had a little before this, I had a bowl of oatmeal. I had got through working out maybe an hour before. And then I get up and I'm like, okay, let me get up. Let me wash my hands because, I wiped my ass and I'm just still sitting here for whatever reason. And then I get out the bathroom and then I end up laying down on my floor and I'm still watching YouTube Shorts in my bedroom now. Just looking at YouTube Shorts. Still. It's 6 o'clock. It's 6:14. And I know I have to leave at a certain point to go get my sister. So why am I just sitting here? Why don't I hurry up and get ready? And that's when I just spaz out and I'm just throw my phone or turn off my phone. And I'm just dude. And I'm just over here ranting to myself, pacing in circles in my house. Just why did I let this happen? How did this happen? Why was I sucked into this? And yeah, so it's just now I'm gonna have to go back and just kind of do a little bit of experimentation in a way, just to see how fasting affects my general behaviors. Now I don't know if it's placebo, but you would think that if you're fast, okay, stuff like this has happened before when I wasn't fasting, right? Stuff like this would barely happen when I was fasting during Ramadan. 30 days is a significant amount of time to be doing something to see how well it's going to have an effect on your body. And not just your body, but your mentality, spirituality, just everything dealing with you. And fasting had almost nothing but a positive impact. I mean, it literally didn't impact me in any negative way whatsoever, right? Outside of the way we had to wake up in the morning and everything and then go back to sleep. Of course, having my sleep kind of messed up, that was not the best part. But in regards to not eating throughout the day and restricting my meal times, that had nothing but a positive effect. And for whatever reason, now that I'm on my own without the parameters of Ramadan, it's as if I'm just kind of a fart in the wind or something like that. I'm not really focused on anything, although I want to do them. And now it's just as if how you would say, oh man, I want to work out, I want to start working out, but then you don't do anything to start doing that. So it's only a certain amount of times I can tell myself I want to do this, I want to do that, until I have to get up and do it, or I leave it alone and I forget about it. And if I forget about it, I'm going to be worse off. So I just have to buckle down, hunker down, and just get on my stuff, bro. Get on my groove, man. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed me just whatever. Try out fasting, guys. I'm gonna have to try it out. I have no choice, because from what I've seen or from what I've experienced myself, it's had the best impact on me. So yeah, unless it was all placebo somehow. But yeah. Peace out.